This was a game-changing moment for Trump.
Exchange was giving them divorced parent vibes. Listening to Trump, and you call him dad. You're not the only one. The NATO Secretary General called him dad too in this exchange that just came out. Here it is, SOT 23.
They've had a big fight, like two kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes. Then it's easy to stop them.
And then Daddy has to sometimes do strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use.
This is so funny, dude. The fact that he's sitting there calling Trump, like, and then Daddy has to walk, like, what are we doing? Trump has literally changed the entire landscape of politics, of culture, of everything. This type of stuff would have never been said before. And now here we are where it's just normal part of the conversation. It's fantastic. I love it so much. And of course, you get questions like this that President Trump had to face, which again, it's so good.
Deborah Hayes from Sky News. Hello. The language that you have used when talking to Donald Trump has been notable because of its flattery. Today, you called him daddy. You sent a text message to him that was gushing with praise. Is this the way that you feel you have to act when doing business with the US president, through flattery and praise? Isn't it a bit demeaning, and doesn't it make you look weak?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a bit of a question of taste, but I think he's a good friend. And when he is doing stuff which is forcing us to, for example, when it comes to making more investments, would you ever think that this would be the result of this summit if he would not have been elected president? Do you really think that the 7 or 8 countries who said, yeah, somewhere in the 2030s, we might meet the 2%? We've now all decided in the last 4 or 5 months to get to 2%. So doesn't he deserve some praise? And when it comes to Iran, the fact that he took this decisive action, very targeted, to make sure that Iran would not be able to get its hands on a nuclear capability, I think he deserves all the praise.
When Trump was asked about it, and you saw Marco Rubio couldn't hold it in. Watch this.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
What are we doing? This is amazing. Is this a better angle of it right here? Let's see if this is a better angle.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who is your friend, he called you daddy earlier. Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard, okay? No? He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your
Oh no.
NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative of that. But do you hope that actually they're going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own?
I think they need help a little bit at the beginning, and I think they'll be able to. And I think they're going to remember this day. And this was a big day for NATO. You know, this was a very big day. They took it. One of the gentlemen said, you know what? We've been trying to raise money raise the rate for 30 years, he said, 20 years, from almost the beginning. And he's been there for a long time. He said, until you came along, it never happened.
It's been a hell of a week for President Trump. Let's go back to this because they were talking about this whole situation.
Said he has an abundance mindset. And
strike the reconfiguration of the attitude of NATO has been one of the most striking things to see of Donald Trump's entire career.
He truly is winning. He has a winning mindset. He has a success mindset. He has an abundance mindset. And that can be very intoxicating. You know, if you spend enough time around it, you start to see possibilities that you didn't see before. And it's funny to watch it happen even with these NATO guys who, like you point out, loathed him very, very recently. Here's Trump He's speaking now and said the following on Iran. As you know, we carried out a massive precision strike. Very, very successful. It was called obliteration, which is funny. That's how it was called that by him. No other military on earth could have done it. Now we've paved the way for this historic ceasefire agreement. It's the 12-day war. We think it's over. I don't think they're going to be going back at each other. I mean, that's what's so extraordinary. What may have happened on Saturday night is the entire Israeli conflict may be over now. The 10-7 response may be over now. They've basically obliterated Hamas, substantially, if not entirely, obliterated Hamas, and then brought it up to Hamas's sponsor, Iran. And now, if there's a real ceasefire here, that war is over, and all that remains is to get the hostages back and figure out, just the small matter of figuring out what's going to happen with Palestine. I mean, there's that. Yeah, but really, President Trump doesn't have to do that.
No, he doesn't have to do that. I would like to see an end to the war. No one likes all this killing in Gaza. And look, I'm pro-Israel. You're pro-Israel. I'm on Team Civilization. But these are people made in the image of God. I don't like to see them, scattered. I mean, we want to try to have wealth and abundance and prosperity. There is a serious problem. A lot of them are incredibly radicalized, and the big tell is no one in the Middle East wants them. Jordan doesn't want them. Egypt doesn't want them. Saudi Arabia doesn't want them. They're kind of a people without a home, and they're an unwanted people, which is really sad, because I guarantee you there's like young kids that have done nothing wrong, of course, in that, couple million group people. So they got to figure that out. I have no idea what to do there, because the old model of you just have this hot box of terrorism and it bubbles up. It's unsustainable. It's bad. It does not work. So there has to be some sort of brokering there. But that's not President Trump's job, right? He's the president of the United States of America.
At least he said it. It's not his job. I don't give a shit what happens.
What he should do is try to broker a settlement, bring the hostages back, end it, and say, look, you guys got 90 days, try to figure this out, but we're not taking any refugees. We're not doing any of this, we're Islamic importation of it into the West, but we got to figure it out. But most importantly, though, is that President Donald Trump, as you could see, he wants to try to get all the focus on our hemisphere. Hemispheric hegemony is part of his MAGA doctrine. Okay, we'll solve Israel-Iran, we'll solve Israel-Gaza, we'll solve India-Pakistan, we'll solve Russia-Ukraine, and then come back to our hemisphere. That one of the most important foreign policy goals that he has is Panama Canal and Greenland.
Yep.
We joke around about those two. They're incredibly important from a geopolitical standpoint, from rare earth minerals to trade to international waterways. That's far more important, by the way, than what we're seeing, in the Middle East right now for American future.
And I think he probably will put his attention towards that here pretty soon. Once he's got a lot of this stuff behind him, which he almost has, it appears that he's gotten a lot of this Middle East bullshit behind him. Of course, things could pop off again, but it's almost like that ceasefire, them breaking the ceasefire actually was a good thing, because it allowed Trump to get in there and show them how pissed off he was, because he was legitimately pissed off. I'm not sure I've seen Trump that mad publicly before. Like, he was pretty pissed off. I think that probably turned out to be a good thing overall.
And basically, and by the way,
President Trump did not manufacture this Middle East conflict. Like, this wasn't like he came in and said, let's do something in the Middle East.
Arrived on his doorstep.
This is foisted upon him. This is him handling a crisis that was unforeseen I'm sorry, but like a boss. Go ahead.
No, I completely agree. That's right. He handled it like a boss, and he didn't want it to last long. And that's what I love about it. I mean, on one hand, you have Dick Cheney, who's like, oh, Iraq might have weapons of mass destruction. Give me 500,000 troops, 8 years, and $2 trillion, and I'll find out he doesn't have them.
I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk is reading the meme right now, because there's a Dick Cheney meme going around about the Iraq war, and it's showing like Cheney and what he had and what he did and accomplished and how long. And then there was the Trump meme. And I'm pretty sure Charlie Kirk is reading the meme right now. Look at him.
I'm sorry, but like a boss. Go ahead.
No, I completely agree. That's right. He handled it like a boss, and he didn't want it to last long. And that's what I love about it. I mean, on one hand, you have Dick Cheney, who's like, oh, Iraq might have weapons of mass destruction. Give me 500,000 troops, 8 years, and $2 trillion, and I'll find out he doesn't have them. Donald Trump says, oh, Iran might want nukes. Give me 12 days, like 30 pilots, and, no troops on the ground. What a contrast, right? President Donald Trump was able to get done in 12 days what, You know, Dick Cheney and George Bush, it took them 10 years of nation building, and the Iraq War will go down as one of the greatest disasters and mistakes in the history of our country. But also, right up to our own country, remember, on the first day, President Donald Trump signed a declaration, a proclamation, I should say, that did not get a lot of coverage. He designated the cartels as a foreign terrorist organization. Yep. That means in the eyes of the American government, the cartels are indistinguishable from Hamas and Hezbollah, as it should be. And so President Donald Trump wants to focus on our hemisphere. He wants to have more focus on the cartels and less focus on Iran. So he's trying to get these things done in the first 6 months of his administration so that he can then have all the remaining 3.5 years on our hemisphere.
We are.
So I thought that was a pretty good clip, especially the beginning part of the clip, because Trump has, I think it feels like he has elevated to an entirely new place right now with his popularity and everything like that. And it was a risk. It was 100% a risk, but it does feel like he has elevated to a whole different place now. That is something that, again, I didn't necessarily see it. I had my criticisms of the entire situation with Iran, but now that we're on the other side of it, it clearly looks like it was the correct decision, and he has benefited greatly from it. And now he has more power and more credibility than it feels like he's ever had. So here we are.